Hello, hello, welcome. Welcome to another Sunday night stock talk that we are actually going to be hosting today. So, welcome. We usually host these every weekend, every Sunday, every week in general, on Sundays at 7 p.m. But today we are doing something a little bit different. We are going to come live a little sooner because sometimes people are already asleep at 7 p.m. That could be 9 p.m. Eastern Time or 10 p.m. Eastern Time, something like that. So we are actually going to be going live, and we're going to be doing something a little bit different in this video. What is going to be different and what is going to be the same? Stick around and find out. But basically, we are going to be going over the last week's trades. I think like 17 or so companies that we wanted to go over last Sunday. We're going to be going over this Sunday and seeing kind of how they relate, where our trade pattern is now from where we thought it would be on Sunday. And then we will take away the companies that we do not see as oversold anymore or good reversal setups for the week. We will take them off of our oversold list, and then we're actually going to go through and you're going to be able to see exactly my thought process, my thesis when they come about as we look at potential trade setups for the week. So I hope this can showcase to you the ability to find areas of opportunity without me one day, right? I mean, you're literally watching to learn something. You're not watching to copy me. So with that said, let's go ahead and dive deep into our computer and showcase the fact that we are able to find these setups without my help, right? The whole point is to be able to offer kind of like a thesis and or like a baseline of what you need to learn to identify your own value and trade setups in stocks moving forward. So real quick, guys, let me just spread my link around now that I kind of showcased what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing some of the same stuff we always do every week, identifying stock setups and potential trades that we can make for the week to come. Today is Sunday, July 14th. So let us see here what is going on. The internet seems to be a bit green or a bit red right now. It started out green. Now it is just showing that it is red. So I hope you guys are able to get this video. I'm not sure why it's so red right now. If you guys are watching, give me a thumbs up if everything is okay. Even my mouse seems a little slow. Is that just me? Very weird. Sorry, guys. This is really weird. This does not normally happen. Okay, it's actually a little bit greener now. Almost like a yellow. Sorry, I am having some technical difficulties here. I think that'll work. Man, I swear, I have a cat. There we go, it's green again. Okay, we're good. I have a cat that likes to get up on top of the desk. So I don't know what's going on. Also like to mess with my functions, my keyboard settings, my mouse settings. Before you know it, it's all messed up. So I think we are good now. Our internet seems to be back up. Still in the yellow though, but nonetheless, okay. So let us begin. We're going to share our screen here, and we are going to start this Sunday stock talk. Hopefully it's not too glitchy or buffery on you guys. Okay, I think we're good. So we'll also do some Q&A if you guys are interested in any other stocks that I don't cover in this video, then you can definitely check it out. Why does it keep saying that? Holy moly. Okay, we have another technical error, I think. Why does it keep saying that? Device DPI set to 2400. Logitech G Hub. Sorry guys, technical difficulties. Don't know why it's doing that. Everything looks fine. Everything looks fine. Turn off all notifications. There we go. Okay. Alrighty now, guys. Alrighty, here we go. So we are going to talk about some maybe stock picks that you guys are thinking of towards the end of the video. So stick around and then give me your ticker symbol at the end, and we'll go over that. Also, we're going to go over the companies that we had in the last Sunday night stock talk. So if you guys are familiar with what we talked about last Sunday, then you'll be able to see whether that company went up or down due to our trading plan. Okay, so let us begin. Let me start sharing the screen. Here we go. So we'll go over Bitcoin last. I know Bitcoin is a huge topic right now for many people, and especially in the trading style that I'm in. I usually trade Mara, and been making some solid money, solid gains, a lot of consistency this week and the past month actually, going from 3-day, 4-day, 5-day win streaks to over a 11-day win streak for the month of July, and we ended June with a 6 or 7-day win streak. So a lot more consistency, a lot more green days than red days, and so we are going to go over some of those companies today. What we can look forward to this week, starting July 15th, which is tomorrow. Also, check that second link in the description below. That'll give you access to our free Discord server, and that showcases to you the most anticipated earning releases calendar in the weekly earnings calendar section. We also showcase profits every day or losses, and you can get in touch with a lot more like-minded individuals that all want to learn how to invest in the stock market. So definitely consider subscribing to this channel, hitting that bell notification so you know when I go live every morning at Monday through Friday at market open. We do trade live. I do offer that for free currently, and you can check out our Discord link to also get trade ideas, updates, and overall just more of a community that we're growing and building for positive, like-minded individuals, again, who just want to learn how to make more than 8 or 10% a year in the market. We're talking about serious gains here, anywhere from 5 to 10% a week, which is 20 to 40% a month. You want to double your account size in 2 or 3 months, then I would definitely stick around and at least give me a chance to explain myself and my thought process behind each one of these companies that we're looking to trade this week. Now, I am a range trader, so I do want to, kind of clarify that. I do look for signs of upward direction. I do want to look at previous patterns. I want to look at the support and resistance levels, or key levels as I like to call them. And then I also want opportunity cost. I'm not going to invest $1,000 to make $1 when I could invest $1,000 to make $100, $200, $300, $400. So Opportunity cost is very important when we look at these oversold companies. Now, this has a range, and right now it's trading. This is Chevron Corp, or ticker symbol CVX, and it's trading between, I'd say, like 151, 152, and between 159 and 160. Okay, so right now, because we called this out last Sunday, okay, Sunday was on the 7th. So if we look back to where we called it out on the 7th, which was our Sunday night stock talk last week, it's actually above where we thought it would be. We seen support levels here, and I thought it would probably start to bounce and go up, and it has since Sunday. What do we say? Sunday the 7th, which would have been right in between 5 and 8. It has gone up. So we called it out here, finding that support. It consolidated a little bit, and now it is about 1 or 2% up from where we called it out last Sunday. It can go up as high as 2.34%. Doesn't mean it has to, but it is possible. But hey, this is up from the trade we called out. So I am going to take it off of our list here. We are using the WeBull setting. So if you ever want to know how to take off a stock in your watch list, simply right click, go to add to watch list, and go to the oversold. Now I have it on my stocks 2024. We have almost 50 companies that we track day in, day out, week after week, month after month for 2024. Every year it changes, every month it can change. We could add companies, we can take companies away, and then that'll definitely benefit when we're looking at certain setups for the year. Now we are going to take it off the oversold list, so now that would no longer be there. And again, between the 5th and the 8th, we called this company out as a sign of potential upward momentum. Now this is Chipotle, Mexican Grill, CMG, and it did have a huge pullback from where we called it out on Sunday. Now, I did anticipate this to go up higher, back to those $69 levels, after it did a 50-to-1 reverse stock split. And if you want to see more and see me go into detail on my thoughts and some news behind Chipotle's 50-to-1 stock split, then I have a video already made. Just simply go over to Stocks I'm Watching playlist, or check out some of my recent videos. It'll be under, of course, Chipotle Mexican Grill, 50-to-1 stock split. So definitely check that out. But basically, it has gone down since we called it out last Sunday. So this was not a good strategy to have. This strategy is now gone. It has made new lows at 56.82, and it's starting to try to consolidate between 56 and 58, meaning that if it can get above this 58.40 level, then we can see a nice little bounce up, potentially 8% profit back to 62. I would find that most relevant as the company is still selling off, starting to consolidate, but you can even see highs of $69, which would be about a 20% profit. So anywhere between 8 and 20%, I would definitely consider locking in my profits on Chipotle. This is definitely going to still stay in our oversold watch list for this week to come, because there is some potential for this to get out of this consolidation period, bounce off of those $56, $57 support levels, and rise back up to even $60, $62, or even $69. So very, very important there. JDST definitely sold off. Now this is a bear ETF, and over time this company is going to do nothing but sell off. Now there may be an opportunity where gold has a bad year, a bad month, a bad week, and we can see these small dips that go up between support levels and resistance levels, giving us like a 28% profit in 30 days. Now it has sold off previously, and on Sunday I did call this out, thinking that it would probably spike up because the fact that JNUG, or gold itself, was overextended. Now it has overextended even further into where gold is overbought and going into higher highs. So now this would negate this factor here. I'll keep it here. but instead of it being a support, it will now be a resistance. So this did not turn out well for our trading strategy. If it does play off of this consolidation where it's finding some support at $29 for JDST, we can see a 12% pullback, potentially a 30% pullback, but more realistically, I'd say about a 12% pullback on JDST. So we are going to keep this on our oversold watch list for the week to come. Intel did very nice. I mean, we've been watching Intel for quite some time, even back since April and even May, when we started seeing and started drawing out these patterns of support and resistance. Now, they were trading in this little range area, so a lot of times these green support lines here that are now obviously green were red at one point. This was a red resistance level, and it came back down to support. It went back through that resistance level, and it came up to a newer resistance level of $32 and was able to kind of go up and down for quite some time. We were able to make some very nice trades on some of these companies, or some of these days that the company performed well, making a 4% profit in one day, making a 3% profit in one day, making a 4% profit in a week, and making a 4% profit in a single day. Now, since then, we have been noticing a huge upward momentum up, to newer resistance levels. This is a whole new range area. So there was a breakout that took place at this 3145 level on 7.5. So when we called it out on Sunday, we knew this was going to potentially break out or reverse back down due to this resistance level. As soon as this resistance level was broken, it was able to go up as much as 13% in 4 days, guys. In 4 days, this went up 14%, 13%. So now it's finding areas of resistance, obviously because of what? This area back in April 25th and 24th and April 18th, it touched this $35 psychological number resistance level. It went all the way down to $29. And if you were able to trade this, as I was here, I traded it for a little while, 10 shares, about $330 at $33.28, sold at $33.65, locking in a few bucks on Intel, nothing crazy. But at the same time, we've seen a nice little pullback from resistance levels, about a 5% pullback, and now it's pushed up 7%, and then came all the way back down before market closed. So it went up as high as 7%, but now it's starting a pullback, which I could easily see this maybe pulling back down to here, creating kind of like a double bottom and potentially going up. Now this can go back into that trading level between $29 and $31. So, do be aware of that. But at the same time, this can also break and we can start seeing some better range levels of say 40 to 47 if it can get up to these newer, older highs and higher lows. So very excited to see what happens with Intel once we do get that going. Sorry guys, looks like we're having some technical difficulties again. I'm not sure what is happening. The weather seems to be a little bad. I'm not even sure I announced the Sunday night stock talk. I started talking and getting carried away with what I was doing. Little disorganized today, but we will make it work. So we're going to leave Intel in our oversold list because there can be a potential breakout, but other than that, you can remove it because now this is obviously signs of it being overbought. Overbought for sure. So and our internet here in this town is so horrible. I hate it so much. I hate our internet so much. We're going to get Starlink. We are going to get Starlink soon, and we are not going to have to worry about this anymore. Copy link. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm actually going to check my I'm gonna check my modem real quick. Sorry, I hate to do this on a Sunday night stock talk. Give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry. We seem to be having some technical difficulties today. Links are shared because I did not do that earlier. So we should be getting a little bit more people into the live stream. Internet is doing horribly. And let us continue on. Okay, so JD, we call JD out between 5 and 8 right here. It kind of consolidated a little bit, and then it actually had a nice breakout this week. From where we called it to highs of 11%, so that would have been a nice trade on JD from support levels to obvious passing several resistance levels, which are now support levels, and was able to end with about an 8% profit. 8% profit for the week. Now this can still continue to go up to higher highs as the blue line, or the EMA 45-day moving average, is starting to go up. RSI is obviously overbought, but it's still curling over right here at that 61 level. So we can see this potentially go up a little bit higher, maybe another 3% to 9% potentially for this week to come. So we're going to leave it on our oversold watch list. Mara we'll talk about in just a minute. McDonald's oversold, still in this consolidation area. As you can see here, we called it out on that 7375 level. It did pull back very nicely after calling it out, thinking that it was going to go up. Came back down to that 244 level, about a 2.8% profit loss. And it went up actually 4% in 3 days, and now it's starting to come back down. So definitely seeing some signs of heavy resistance right there in that level of 25.55, 25.56. Right there in that level, we're starting to see some heavy resistance, and starting to see it come back down on that level. Also, the RSI indicator is extremely oversold, and the MACD seems to want to curl over from those highs. As you can see, the little green bars here are starting to get smaller and smaller, indicating signs of a pullback. So we'll see what happens here. It's not oversold just yet, but it could potentially come back down to these 247, 248 levels and ride back up 3 to 5% profit. So very excited to see what happens with this company moving on tomorrow. Nike still in those oversold levels. Now, guys, we called this out obviously on the Sunday night stock talk last week from 7 to 5. It hasn't done much. It's actually just basically consolidated. So we're going to bring this support level down here. This will now become a resistance level, even though it's not quite touching that support resistance level. And then we'll also create a new resistance level. Obviously, it looks like right about there. So not doing much, just kind of trying to find that consolidation, which means this trade did not work out according to plan, or at least just yet. Now on obviously 714, we're going to see what happens if this potentially just kind of consolidates for the next couple of days and eventually does break this $77 mark, or 5% profit here. If it gets a nice breakout, then we can see higher highs. If not, then I would consider locking in your 5% profit and watching this come back down. So I'm going to keep that on the list. NVIDIA, very nice week for NVIDIA here. Now, we did call this out again Sunday night, and it has gone up all the way. It actually went right along with our trend line up until that 136 level there and actually found a lot of resistance at that $1 or $136 level, having a nice solid pullback here of 7%. 7%. So this trade only went up, it actually went up 10% since we called it out last week. Let me see. Hold on one more time. Went up 9%. 9% in a week with a nice heavy pullback of almost 8% coming into Friday's open. And then now it's starting to have hopefully a nice little ascent back up where you could potentially make a few dollars here. I'd say about 5%. Still got about a 5% window if you bought in tomorrow and it's still at that $129 level. So pretty interesting. You know, looks like it's going to be hitting that resistance level for a little while, may consolidate before breaking out again, or potentially selling off a little bit more. But MACD looks really nice, making not as aggressive of a sell-off. It's actually starting to pull back a little bit, and the RSI is starting to curl over as well. So we're going to keep NVIDIA on that list. OCGN, guys, we called this out. We called this out and we even traded it. If I zoom in enough, you can see my trades. Now, if I would have just held from that 115 area where I bought originally to now, I'd be up 60%, which means I wouldn't even have to have traded the last 2 months. I could have just put all my money into this one swing trade and made over, what was that, 60% profit? Almost 60%, 59% profit. So 60% profit from 626 to now is nothing, guys. When we called this out and we bought into it, that's 16 days. My goal is to make 10% a week. So 10% in a 5-day period. 7 if you count the weekend because the market's closed. That's just amazing. That'd have been 30% a week, and you'd be at 60% in 2 weeks. I would have made my entire monthly goal of 40% profit in 2 weeks with this company. Why? Because we're understanding previous patterns. Patterns from a 111 breakout to highs of 2, back down to that 111, highs of 2, and back down to 111. Highs of 188 now, highs of 190 even. Now, I would not look into buying this company any longer as this is extremely overbought now. As you can see here, it's actually been at the top, the most highest level on the RSI indicator. It's like touching the ceiling, just waiting to come back down. And usually we don't see stocks like this do that. We'll see them go up, we'll see them go down, we'll see them go up, we'll see them go down. But this is literally staying above that RSI indicator. So very oversold. It can pull back at any moment. It's getting into these newer resistance level areas where it can easily pull back down to these support levels. But ultimately, guys, none of these little middle ones matter. Like possibly that one right there that I just deleted at 158. Why? Because it's had area of interest here, 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 and here. So if it pulls back to that 160 level, then we may be able to see another little kind of pump up, right? 16%, but it doesn't mean it has to, right? It can come back down to here, or it can come all the way back down to here and start setting us up for a whole nother rally. It can also continue its descent up, okay? So there's a few different scenarios there that we're gonna have, but that's what we're looking at a weird W or upside down M. And this really played out very well with us and our team here. So we're gonna leave that on the list just to keep up to date with it. Plug Power. Plug Power is definitely one of the ones that is down. It's up from where we called it out. I'm sorry. 7, 5, and 7E. We called it out right here. Didn't go necessarily right along with our trade plan, but it is up as high as 18% from where we called it out on Sunday. It did break those resistance levels that we were seeing, and it's now in a period of hopefully some more upward momentum. You could have easily made anywhere from like 10 to 20% on this play, just holding it over this past week from when we called it out on Sunday, right here between 7.5 and 7.8 at the Monday open. Had a little resistance here at that 260 level, came back down, and it has now just shot up beautifully, 20%. So we'll see how high this can actually go. Can it get up to this resistance level up here? Is it going to start curling over? Since now it's way above the RSI. MACD is definitely overextended. So we're going to see what happens with plug tomorrow morning on the open. TQQQ had a nice solid pullback from, let's see, 7.5 when we called it out. The market open this day, it actually went up, about 6%. So anyone who had that trade, congratulations, as it did go up and benefit you guys. Now it did pull back down to that $79 low, about an 8% pullback. So now I'm very curious to see what happens. We're either going to go up to this resistance level here, potentially, maybe even this one here, making 1.5 to possibly 5% profit, or it can just come right back down, and it can go down even further, so let's wait and see kind of what happens with this tomorrow and what direction it takes. Same with SQQ, it's just the inverse. Now this is extremely oversold. Had a nice little pump up from that 707 level to 766 for an 8% profit. That is just fantastic. So we're going to leave that on the list. Hood also just kind of trading sideways right now, kind of consolidating in these higher range levels. From here to here, it's actually done nothing. It's kind of gone straight across. If not, it's lost about 1% from our call out on Sunday. Sound went up, definitely. It went up from our call out on Sunday. Right here is when we called it out between the 5th and the 8th, and calling it out here, it's actually gone up 48%, 49% in a week. So I missed out on that one. Should have put some money into this. As you can see, we saw clear signs of resistance, support, resistance, sold all the way off for months to get to this resistant support level again of $3.82, $4, and then it broke away and created a huge opportunity for anyone who got in on this. Now I believe it's strongly overbought, and so now we're finding resistance levels at 620. This would also now become a support level. So we'll see what happens as the week goes on, but totally missed out on an amazing opportunity with Sound, buying even at $3.90 or even at the $4 mark, and missing out on a 53% profit in 7 days. That is my entire month's goal plus some. My goal is to make 40% a month, 53% profit in a week. So been watching this company for a little while. We even traded it here. Bought 10 shares at $5.88, sold at $5.93, and I literally could have just held overnight and sold for literally almost $1 profit. That would have been like $100. So very unfortunate. Couple more. SCHD had a nice breakout from where we called it out on obviously our Sunday night stock talk between July 5th and July 8th. It has had a nice push up, resulting in a 3 to 4% run, which makes me feel good. A lot of these trades actually ended up working out exactly the way we planned for them to, which is just amazing. Very happy to see. Now this is obviously going to pull back down. Could go anywhere from $77 to even those $75 levels again. So we're going to see what happens, as this is a horizontal pattern, not an upward momentum pattern. DJT, we had some thoughts on it. We won the Sunday before last Sunday. So about 2 weeks ago, it went right along with our trading pattern. Obviously, this did not work out, that did not work out, and it kind of just traded sideways. So hopefully looking for a nice little breakout in the morning of about a 30% profit, or potentially comes back down, losing about an 8 to 10% profit. So we'll see what happens with DJT. But that's our list for the week. Let's see if anything sticks out to us on here as far as oversold or overbought, as far as adding new positions to our oversold watch list. Google may be potentially oversold here because there was such a nice pullback. So we'll actually add that to our oversold watch list. Amazon has a nice pullback as well. So very interesting to see. AMC not doing much, Apple not doing much. Now we do still need to go over Bitcoin. We will do that in just a second. Do I see any areas that are oversold on our watch list that we did not cover yet? See, there's that push up on JNUG. JNUG pushed up very nicely. FFIE, huge spike up, guys, from 18 cents to 60 cents, 200% profit. So I'm always excited to see what happens with FFIE. As I have traded it in the past and made some pretty decent money on it. Also lost some money on it. So it's like a love-hate relationship or something going on with FFIE right now. GME not doing much here. GM definitely overbought. Holy crap. This is going to have a nice pullback for any short sellers out there. It's going to have a very nice pullback when it does pull back finally. QQQ we talked about, JD we talked about, Lucid. Lucid's another company that we bought and sold. Now I bought down at $2.73. It went up to $4.23. Could have doubled my money. Could have easily doubled my money when we would have just held on to this. 68% profit from lows of $2.51 to highs of $4.32. 68% profit in 2 weeks. So definitely dropped the ball on this one. And I do believe it's overextended, but we are going to add it to our oversold watch list as this should start pulling back. McDonald's overbought now. Meta definitely oversold. We're going to add this to our watch list as well. We're going to track it for a little bit. Microsoft also oversold. And we're just going to come up with our thesis basically stating that, hey, these companies are oversold. I can see that they can potentially go up higher. Will they? Possibly. Doesn't mean they have to. But that's exactly what we do here. We're looking for those oversold patterns, showcasing that, hey, these trade here usually at this level. They're not. And we're going to find a breakout just like with Sound. They don't normally trade at these support levels. Now, they have in the past, but they've also gone up to $5.90, and that's exactly what happened here. History tends to repeat itself. Patterns tend to repeat themselves. Understanding key levels like support and resistance. And as you can see here, we were able to take advantage of that support level. And if you invested, ride that wave all the way up to those new resistance levels. So that's exactly what we're looking for with these companies that are setting up. SoFi in between. So SoFi still has potential to go up to, those previous levels or just start dropping right back down. But it did pass that resistance level. So, there was an area of opportunity from $6.30 to $6.97. That's a 10% profit. 10% profit, guys. And these are always on our radar. We're always looking at these companies. Sometimes midweek, they will play out better than just like a normal Monday. And so it's interesting. Like Tesla's doing the same thing. Had a huge pullback here. It was like a 15% pullback. And now it is to the point where it's going up from lows of 236 to now highs of 247. That's a 6% profit. It can go all the way up back to 271 for a 16% profit. So there's plays to be made every single day. It's just a matter of figuring out which plays are the best ones for your time and for your potential money, right? So Tesla is going on the oversold watch list. Walmart is going on the oversold watch list because they're oversold, right? They're hitting that EMA line. You could have a quick bounce up, throw a couple $100 in, couple $1,000 in, and be able to make some decent money on it. And that is our 48 list. And this is our list of oversold. We have over 25 companies right now in the oversold watch list. Let's go over Bitcoin real quick. Now, Bitcoin since Sunday, if you want to say, since Sunday, has been going up. Okay, so between 7.5 and 7.8. 7.5 was back here. It went up on Saturday, it went down on Sunday, it went up on Sunday night, and then on Monday it was in new highs. So when we opened, we were already in new highs for Mara, sold off a little bit, and we're slightly above closing the week, or right now starting into, Sunday and now Monday, we're at higher highs than last week. So we're doing pretty good as far as where we want to be for this trend line as if it starts to go up. Now, I trade Mara typically, which is, off of, as you can see here, I trade Mara a lot. We make a lot of money on Mara every single week. And if you guys want to check that out, definitely consider subscribing to the channel, watching me trade live every day at market open, Monday through Friday, at market open for anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. And I trade Mara quite a bit, guys. We trade these lows, highs, support, resistance. And there was a huge breakout this week, which I can see us easily being in like $21 to like almost $22 tomorrow at the open, because simply Bitcoin has now hit $60,000. We were down here last week in this level, and now we're up here in these new levels, which means it's cleared this resistance, it's cleared this resistance, and it's even cleared these other resistance levels at $59,000. So if it can hold and these now become strong support levels, we can see this go back up to that $63,000 mark, or just start making its way back up to those $70,000, $72,000 mark, which means Mara can easily go from these lower levels of $20 back up to levels of even $23 or even $34 where it was trading before. As you can see, patterns do tend to repeat themselves. Been trading horizontally for quite some time. We were able to trade this nice trend line up every single day. Had a huge pop up, which we were able to benefit off of as well. We even traded it up in these high levels of $22, and now we've been able to trade it down in the $18 levels. As this continues to go up, obviously it can go up even just another 1%, hit that $21 resistance and come crashing back down, or it can potentially go back up to those $22, $23 levels, resulting in about a 10% profit. And then, yeah, it could potentially sell off again, or it can go up to these levels that we had seen previously in February. So hope you guys enjoyed this Sunday stock talk. I'm going to open it up for any questions you guys may have or any companies you may want me to check out. Definitely, comment below and we can definitely get started on those for you. If you guys don't, then, then maybe that's where we end the live stream here. I have a lot of work to still do as far as, making sure that these setups are going to be solid for this week to come, where Mara's sitting exactly, getting to bed early tonight, making sure that I'm rested for tomorrow morning's live stream, and making sure that all of our ducks are in a row to make some solid trades this week to come. Now, I am up over, I would say now it's closer to like 80 or 90% profit as far as this challenge goes. Obviously still putting in a few dollars of my own money to get that going up into a better level, and ultimately being on our 11th straight consistent green day is just amazing. So by showing up every day, by making sound investments and going over trade plans and sticking with those trade plans, we're able to consistently grow our account over time. I mean, if you can double your account in a year, that's fantastic. That's a great goal to have. That's 100% profit in a single year, whereas most investments out there only give you between 8 to 10% a year. So you're basically 10xing your money. Now, with the way I have it set up, we should be able to double our account size every 10 weeks, resulting in a very nice 5x return, which is, it could result in more of like a 10, 20, 30x return because of the compound effect of it all. You know, you double 1,000 to 2,000 in 10 weeks, and then you take 2,000 to 4,000 in 10 weeks, and then you take 4,000 to 8,000 in 10 weeks. One more of those would be, you know, 8,000 to like say 16,000 in another 10 weeks. That's 1 year. You're able to take $1,000 to almost $16,000 or $20,000. So it's really just numbers. It's really just understanding, you know, small wins lead to big gains over time. And yeah, I guess if you guys don't have any questions, any stocks you want me to look at, then I'll probably just get off of the live stream here and call it a day. We have a lot of trading to do. You guys can definitely check it out. I will be live Monday through Friday at Market Open. You can also sign up with the second link below. That is our Discord channel. And you can see kind of more depth, like stuff about how I trade, some of my ideas, what's my account size that I trade with, and a lot of other kind of Q&As that I may have already answered. So thank you for your time, and we'll see you all in the tomorrow morning's live stream at Market Open. Thanks, and remember,